The AHL's elite have gathered in Rockford, Illinois to celebrate the 90th season of the American Hockey League. Home to the Rockford IceHogs, tonight the BMO Center once again hosts the next wave of NHL talent. Last night, 49 of the best young players in the world put on an absolute show. A spectacle of speed, precision, and plenty of jaw-droppers. Tonight, the All-Star Challenge features 7 games of 3-on-3 hockey between all 4 divisions. Every NHL organization is represented, and All-Star bragging rights are on the line. It's day 2 of the AHL All-Star Classic, and it all starts now.
The ride with us tonight alongside former Rockford IceHogs captain and current Hershey Bears analyst Garrett Mitchell. My name is Alan Furing. Well, it's already been quite the week. It's loud here in Rockford. It's been that way all week long, and there's no doubt this is the next wave of NHL talent. Garrett, last night in the skills competition, it did not disappoint.
No, and I mean, you look at it, take your pick, whether it's the Ben Berard, sorcery goal that he scores. Obviously, we've seen that a handful of times. Jagger Firkus going 4 for 4. The talent did not disappoint.
Well, this is the 9th year that it's been a tournament-style format. It'll be a round-robin competition tonight with the teams divided up by division. All 32 clubs are spoken for. You see what's on tap here this evening, starting with the Atlantic against the Central. It'll end with a Game 7 championship at the very end. There are 10 former first-round draft picks of NHL clubs in action here tonight. Garrett, who do you have an eye on overall?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, Alan. You look at it, there's not a guy out here that doesn't deserve to be here. So it's an exciting night. The stage is set. Just excited to be a part of it.
Well, you take a look at the points leaders in the American Hockey League here at the break. Laurent Dauphin, who is here this evening, he'll be on the ice. He's right at the top of the list. Well, now it's time to meet the AHL All-Stars for 2026, and for that we send it down to the PA announcer here at the BMO Center, Mr. Jim Leo.
Fans, the Hard Rock Casino Rockford is proud to present the coaches, staff, and players of the 2026 AHL All-Star Classic. The coaches for the Eastern Conference All-Stars, from the Providence Bruins, Ryan Muginel. And from the Laval Rocket, Pascal Vincent. Joining them, please welcome, from the NHL Coaches Association BIPOC Coaches Development Program, Dennis Rupee. And from the NHL Coaches Association Female Coaches Development Program, Carly Whitaker. And the Eastern Conference training staff, from the 2025 Calder Cup champion Abbotsford Canucks, head athletic therapist Nathan Wong. And head equipment manager Chico Damshaw. Now let's meet the coaches for the Western Conference All-Stars. From the Grand Rapids Griffins, Dan Watson. And from the Colorado Eagles, Mark Letestu. Joining them, please welcome, from the NHL Coaches Association Female Coaches Development Program, Emily Ack. From the NHL Coaches Association BIPOC Coaches Development Program, Chris Pascal. And the Western Conference training staff, from the Rockford IceHogs, head athletic trainer John Walter. Assistant athletic trainer Patrick Chun. Head equipment manager Tyler Carpenter. Assistant Equipment Manager, Jake Flitcham. Now let's meet our 2026 American Hockey League All-Stars. Representing the Atlantic Division, from the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, goaltender number 1, Sergei Murashov. From the Bridgeport Islanders, defenseman number 3, Cole McWard. From the Charlotte Checkers, forward number 4, Jack Define. From the Charlotte Checkers, forward number 6, Ben Steeves. From the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, defenseman number 15, Christian Cairo. From the Hartford Wolfpack, forward number 19, Brendan Brisson. From the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, forward number 26, Tristan Rose. From the Providence Bruins, goaltender number 30, Michael DiPietro. The captain of the 2026 Eastern Conference All-Stars from the Providence Bruins, forward number 38, Patrick Brown. From the Springfield Thunderbirds, forward number 39, Matt Luff. From the Hershey Bears, forward number 40, Ilya Protas. From the Providence Bruins, defenseman number 42, Frederick Brude. Representing the Pacific Division, from the San Diego Gulls, forward number 10, Tim Washi. From the San Jose Barracuda, forward number 18, Cam Lund. Captain of the 2026 Western Conference All-Stars, from the Colorado Eagles, forward number 21, Jason Magna. From the Bakersfield Condors, forward number 23, Quinn Hudson. From the Ontario Reign, number 26, forward Andre Lee. From the Henderson Silver Knights, forward number 28, Tanner Lasinski. From the Abbotsford Canucks, forward number 29, Ben Berard. From the San Diego Gulls, goaltender number 31, Callie Clay. From the Colorado Eagles, goaltender number 35, Isaac Posh. From the Coachella Valley Firebirds, defenseman number 43, Tyson Chudnoff. From the Coachella Valley Firebirds, forward number 57, Jagger Furkis. From the Tucson Roadrunners, defenseman number 62, Dmitry Sivashev. From the Calgary Wranglers, forward number 92, Matvey Grinnin. Representing the North Division, From the Cleveland Monsters, forward number 10, Luca Del Belvalou. From the Rochester Americans, forward number 18, Isaac Rosean. From the Syracuse Crunch, forward number 22, Jacob Peltier. From the Utica Comets, forward number 24, Brian Hallinan. From the Laval Rocket, forward number 27, Laurent Dauphin. From the Belleville Senators, forward number 34, Arthur Kaliev. From the Rochester Americans, defenseman number 39, Zach Jones. From the Laval Rocket, defenseman number 56, Adam Engstrom. From the Toronto Marlies, goaltender number 70, Artur Aktiama. From the Rochester Americans, forward number 91, Costa Helenius. From the Syracuse Crunch, forward number 94, Connor Geeky. Representing the Central Division, from the Chicago Wolves, defenseman number 2, Dominic Vinsori. From the Milwaukee Admirals, defenseman number 12, Ryan Upko. From the Texas Stars, forward number 19, Cameron Hughes. From the Manitoba Moose, goaltender number 32, Thomas Milich. From the Grand Rapids Griffins, goaltender number 33, Sebastian Cossa. From the Iowa Wild, forward number 37, Hunter Hayes. From the Grand Rapids Griffins, forward number 65, Dominic Shine. From the Chicago Wolves, forward number 82, Bradley Nadeau. From the Chicago Wolves, forward number 93, Justin Robida. From the Rockford Ice Hogs, defenseman number 14, Kevin Korchinski. From the Rockford Ice Hogs, forward number 43, Brett Seedy. From the Rockford Ice Hogs, forward number 76, Nick Lourdes. An AHL All-Star and Calder Cup champion during his time with the Philadelphia Phantoms. This man went on to play 14 seasons in the NHL and was an instrumental member of the Chicago Blackhawks Stanley Cup championship teams in 2010, 2013, and 2015. please welcome the honorary captain for the Eastern Conference All-Star team, Patrick Sharp. A former captain of the Rockford Ice Hogs. This man skated in 145 games in the American Hockey League before graduating to the NHL, where he was named to the All-Rookie team in 2009 and won 2 Stanley Cup titles with the Blackhawks. Welcome back to Rockford, honorary captain of the Western Conference All-Star team, Chris Bernstein. Fans, please welcome the officials for tonight's All-Star Challenge as assigned by the American Hockey League. The referees are Jared Ragusin and Mike Sullivan. The linespeople are Jamison Grodert and John Ritter. Fans, please direct your attention to center ice and welcome American Hockey League President and CEO Scott Housen for tonight's ceremonial puck drop. Joining him is the President of Hockey Operations and General Manager of your Rockford Ice Hogs, Mark Bernard. Fans, please rise if you are able and remove your hats and join legendary Chicago Blackhawks anthem singer Jim Corneliuson in the singing of "O Canada" and the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets Oh, say does the star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Oh, it's just so good. AHL fans, if you want to be part of the AHL's All-Star Classic, join the conversation by using the hashtag AHL All-Star on Instagram, Facebook, and X. And stay connected all season long on the AHL.com for all of the latest news, scores, and statistics from around the league. Well, the Central Division already has the lead. The goal scorer is with Dana Gray.
Well, Nick, this has been quite the environment that you guys have experienced over the last 24 hours. How fun is it to be a Rockford Ice Hog this week?
So fun. I mean, not just this week, but the whole year. I mean, so thankful to be part of this organization. And, you know, this whole week's been awesome. I mean, the whole experience, you know, to have it here in front of these fans, it's been unbelievable.
Seems like pretty good pace for an All-Star game to start.
Yeah, I mean, just trying to set the tone early, I guess, yeah.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, thanks.
And he has set the tone. Thanks so much, Dana. The voice of the Rockford Ice Hogs, Dana Gray. All right, so both divisions have swapped goaltenders. It's Michael DiPietro now in for the Atlantic. And as you saw there on the other end, Thomas Milich of the Manitoba Moose. Brett Sini, the Rockford captain, drives in, pulls up. Robida will leave it back for it. There's Dominic Fensori of the Chicago Wolves. Sini, an AHL veteran, named to his second AHL All-Star Classic this past week. Fensori drags to the middle, and he lost the handle on it. And Christian Kyrou sends it across for Ben Steeves. Leaves it. Here's Kyrou with room. Christian Kyrou throws it near the crease. Pushed away by Sini, and off to the races goes Robida. He's in alone. Justin Robida missed the net.
Just high, he had it too.
Both teams make changes. Devine back in, throws it across, and Bros will tie it and gets the Atlantic on the board.
Yeah. You know, here's one here, Alan. That you know, it's a pass. You know, Robida here. He's got. You know, he's got it high. He flips it just over top of the blocker, but just a near miss. But, you know, watch this one here. It's a broken play, ends up hitting a stick. You know, just slips through over to Tristan Broles there, which is, you know, it happens. Obviously, it's a quick game, 3-on-3. It goes man on man, and as soon as you lose that player, you know, look out because the guy's coming.
Tristan Broles has tied it, 23-year-old. From Minnesota, but he grew up a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, and now he's in that organization as a former second-round draft pick. So we're tied 1-1 with 2.5 to go. Cameron Hughes fires one wide on the backhand, comes up the wall and out. And here's Jack Devine, the Glencoe native, steps, whips, got it in on goal. The rebound does not go for Cole McWard.
I think he slid that right through 5-hole there, Alan. It went right through him, through the far side.
Race to the puck here. Throws back in on it for the Penguins. Leaves it, gets it back, fires one. That was shrugged away and over the high glass from Thomas Milich. Yeah, you'll be able to see this defense here that, you know, that gets played. But, you know, Jack Devine, he ends up trying to go through, and just at the end of it, he was able to get a stick on that and pick his pocket. But, you know, that one slides right through the 5-hole. It's a heck of a play there by him. I will say this entire week is not kind to the goalies, as we mentioned last night during the skills competition, Garrett. It's a little bit easier here at 3-on-3 than the 3-on-0 breakaway challenges that we saw in the pass and score events last night. So they have a chance to make an impression too, and a good save from Milich. Stop play there a few seconds ago. Yeah, and this one, you know, it turns into a little bit of a track meet. Obviously, you know, the skill level of these guys, Alan, nowadays, you know, they are the next NHL, and we've had so much fun, obviously, throughout the skills competition yesterday, just seeing what these guys can do. But when you open the ice with 3-on-3 with these guys, there's a lot of room out there for them to roll. And the pace has already been relatively quick. It will only get faster as we go on tonight. 1-1 the score. Just over 70 seconds left here in game one. If it is tied, we will go to a 3-round shootout. Yeah, you won't see much hitting in this. Obviously, you know, in a regular game you would, but you won't see much on that. But
what a save there by DiPietro on Lardis.
And the other way, Protas in alone. Tried to tuck it around the pad of Milic, and he said no. Now back and forth they go here in the final minute of game number 1. Kyra put that one off of Lardis, stick up into the air. It's kicked along for Patrick Brown. He's got a man driving. That was Luff. Behind the net, Brown. Out front, Luff of the Springfield Thunderbirds. Playing captain of this Eastern Conference is Patrick Brown. He's also the captain of the Providence Bruins. He left it. A distant shot from Luff is no problem for Milic.
Yeah, and such a great leader over the years. I was able to connect with Ryan Mougenel, who I had in Hershey, and Patrick Brown. Any team would be happy to have him as his captain, and they're thankful to have him in Providence.
This one doesn't come off the stick of Luff. 2 and then 1 to go in game 1. We're not done yet. 1-1. We are headed to a 3-round shootout next. A couple of chances there, Garrett late.
Yeah, and you watch Lardis here, Alan. He's got the pump fake. He looks for it, and that's a great goaltender in DiPietro. But a little pro, big pro's up obviously in the NHL now, and he just loses the handle there on the forehand.
All right, so in games 1 through 4, we will have a 3-round shootout. It'll end at 3 rounds, and it'll end in a tie, which means each division will get a point for their overall total. Once we get to games 5, 6, and then the championship, it is an endless shootout. So we will be quick with it here. Yeah. 3 shooters, and then we're moving on if it's still tied. But we're not quite done here. It's Mike DiPietro who stays in net for the Atlantic Division. He is 30 in black. He'll move down to our right. And on the other end, back in goal for the Central Division, Thomas Milic. But it's DiPietro who will face the first test here in the shootout. It will be Brett Seney driving in on him of the Rockford Ice Hawks. So here he is. Brett Seney, the lefty, in on goal, and he's denied.
Yeah, he's got it. He's a shooter, and I played with Brett, and Brett's he's an awesome, unbelievable guy, and soon to be a father. I'm excited for both him and Andrea's wife. So exciting times for him. We'll see where it goes.
Ben Steeves of the Atlantic Division goes between his legs. Oh, and it stopped. But a little trickery there from Ben Steeves.
Yeah, we saw that last night. We saw it executed there last night, Alan, and almost a near execution there on that, but Milic is able to come across and make that big save.
Kevin Korchinski in on goal, and he couldn't drag it around the right pad. Last year's MVP of this All-Star Challenge is Kevin Korchinski, but he couldn't find the back of the net.
Yeah, he's just trying to wait. He's trying to wait out DiPietro, and there's a reason that DiPietro won the goaltender award last year.
There's Tristan Brose. Has a goal already tonight. Brose delays, and he couldn't finish it.
Well, are we going to go 3 for 3 with Rockford, guys? What do you think?
I would say yes. You're absolutely correct. As you take one more look at the chance for Tristan Brose, you can hear this crowd erupt. Nick Lardis in on goal. Such a gifted young player. Oh, what a goal! Nick Lardis hits the highlight reel yet again.
Well, and this is one he's thinking that DiPietro is going to come all the way across with him, and he's able to go back far side. And we talk about the talent, and we talk about how close these guys are, Alan, to the NHL, and Nick Lardis just shows you that exactly.
Well, the Central can't lose. The Atlantic trying to tie it here. Patrick Brown scores. He goes low and he fires it in. And each team with the goal in the shootout. And so game 1 ends in a tie. And if there was any question what the parity is like in the American Hockey League, well, there it is. The All-Stars can't find a way ahead of one another as far as Welcome back to the 2026 AHL All-Star Challenge, presented by BMO. Here tonight, live from Rockford, Illinois. Game 1 was a lot of fun. Game 2 is set to get started. But we'll begin with the starting goalies. It's Artur Akhtiyamov representing the Toronto Marlies in net for the North Division. Excellent numbers so far this year in the AHL. And Isaac Posh is on the other end. He represents the Pacific. Isaac Posh, 24-year-old. He's won 13 games already this season for his club, the Colorado Eagles. And game 2 is underway. North Division in the gray jerseys. Here's your AHL points leader at the break, Laurent Dauphin. He'll backhand one wide. The North wearing the gray, Pacific in the whites. And they'll move up ice, 2-on-1. Couple of Coachella Valley Firebirds here. Jugnauth has Furcus, and he couldn't connect the pass.
Yeah, it's just a great defensive play there. And to be able to break that puck up there, Alan.
Dauphin to the middle. It was lost in the skates, so Brian Hallinan of the Utica Comets spent some time with the New Jersey Devils already this season. Both divisions making changes as Matt Gridden comes in, leaves it, and a shot goes wide from Dmitry Simashev.
Yeah, the highest pick player to be playing here right now, 6th overall now. He's obviously his size, but impressive skill by the young man.
Dmitry Simashev, a big boy. As you alluded to, Garrett made the Utah Mammoth opening night roster in the NHL earlier this season. Played 24 games for the Mammoth. Just turned 20 years of age as the Pacific works its way back in. Simashev throws on the break, sends it across, and a shot's off the back glass from Jones. Comes back around, out in front. Backhanded to the far circle as the Pacific works it around. Elanus, fastest skater in the AHL as of last night, will take it away. The North drives in. Here's Kaliev to the middle, and his shot's fought off.
That's a great move to the middle. He's got open ice. He takes it, but Kaliev's able to make that big save.
Halfway through the first half here of game 2. So far, Posh has faced the only shot. Jacob Peltier leaves it for Laval's Adam Engstrom. Engstrom drives wide, tries to carve in. He'll take it around behind the net. There's Connor Geekie of the Syracuse Crunch through the circle. Took a shoulder from Megna, left it. The shot's punched away by Posh. Not going to see a whole lot of physicality here in this one.
No, you won't. And you know what, Alan? We might have seen the biggest hit of the whole week, and that was last night there with Brett Sini running into the cameraman. But
it's on collision. Here's Jason Megna with the step. Megna scores! The playing captain of the Western Conference, Jason Megna, puts the Pacific Division on the board, and out front 1-0.
So you have Brownie that scores obviously the shootout to tie it there, and then the other playing captain and Jason Megna. And, Artur almost gets enough of it just off of his top glove, and it goes barring in off of his glove. But Jason Megna, just another unbelievable human. I was spent a lot of time in Hershey, able to connect with him quite a bit over the years, and just a special person, does a lot in the community. Always a guy that's signing up for different things.
And he's had a lot of success. More than 200 NHL games, more than 590 in the American Hockey League. 36-year-old Jason Megna. His brother Jacob Megna is the captain of the Henderson Silver Knights. So the North turns it over. When Hudson in, trying to play it across the crease, and it was broken up. Loose. Here's Hudson again, fires it off the outside of the post. Quinn Hudson, the oldest of the Hudson brothers. Lane Hudson coming off a Calder Trophy season in the National Hockey League last year. Back the other way. North tried to tie it, and the backhander doesn't go.
And that went through the 5-hole there, too. He had him beat.
It was Brian Hallinan who had his step. Single digits here on the clock in the first half of game 2. Luca Del Belbaloo's in. Has a man driving. That's Dauphin. Takes it behind the net, trying to whip it out in front. And does not go in on goal at the horn. So the Pacific, the only goal so far here in game number 2. And it's the captain of the Colorado Eagles, the playing captain of the Western Conference, Jayson Megna. AHL fans, AHL Authentic is your only source for game used jerseys, equipment, and pucks from this year's 2026 AHL All-Star Classic. Visit AHLauthentic.com right now to bid on the jerseys worn in the AHL Skills Competition and in the coming weeks to bid on the AHL All-Star Game jerseys and warm-up jerseys as well, plus pucks, gloves, helmets, and other great items. Well, plenty of celebrities here in the house tonight, including one sitting right next to me.
Hey, not bad, eh? There you go.
Garrett Mitchell.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Obviously had a great career. Obviously, in Hershey, was able to extend it here a little bit. That's a teddy bear toss goal. I think there was 36,000 teddy bears thrown on the ice, so that was a lot of fun.
How much money did you have on the board for that one?
Yeah, well, we always joke around, right? We have, different things on the board, and I think I ended up winning a little bit there, coming out on the top side of that.
Del Balbaluzza crossed off in. Had one go up and over the high glass. Here, Mitchell playing more than 500 American Hockey League games throughout his career. You take a look there at the head coach representing the North Division, head coach of the Laval Rocket, Pascal Vincent.
Yeah, I joked around, Alan, obviously with my parents, but
Jagger Ferguson and scores. The Fergus Circus takes only 27 seconds here out of the second half of game 2 to make an impression of the Coachella Valley Firebirds. Jagger Fergus makes it 2-0 Pacific.
Well, we saw him go 4 for 4 in the target shooting last night. He's able to obviously do more than just shoot the puck. He goes to his backhand, he's able to get that over the top of Aksimov's blocker there. So, a lot of fun. We see the skill that these guys have. Obviously, they can shoot the puck, but they also have hands too, and these guys are special players.
The Fergus Circus, known for his electrifying offensive play. Jagger Fergus, that one off the post and kicks out. It's an all-time name. The Pacific brings it back in. Here's Ben Berard, who stole the show last night. Tic-tac-toe passing, and it's 3-0 Pacific. Second goal of the night already for Jayson Megna.
And that's one, you just see the skill there. If that's in a normal game, they're around 99% of the time, that second puck is shot right away on the one-timer. And you've got Jayson Megna, a veteran of the American Hockey League. He had his time in the NHL, and just an unbelievable captain. There's a reason that he's obviously the captain for the last handful of years in Colorado, but was also voted in here to represent the West Division.
No one told Jason Megna that these guys are just here to have fun tonight. He's out here to win.
You're going to see the competitive side come out of it. Obviously, the first little bit is feel out, let's go out, have some fun with it. But the pace is going to pick up, and this is, we'll see a track meet. It'll go back and forth, potentially breakaway after breakaway. The amount of skill that these guys have nowadays, it's a lot of fun to watch.
In the corner, here's Isak Rose, and former 14th overall pick of the Buffalo Sabres. He's played in 31 NHL games. He's only 22 years of age. As the North Division will bring it back in. Connor Geekie pulls everyone over the line. Lost the handle on it. And here's a lane for Andre Lee. Lee of the Ontario Reign in the backhand, denied by the glove of Akhtiamov. The North couldn't clear. Cam Lund, representing the San Jose Barracuda, plays it back out to the line. Artur Akhtiamov remains in net for the North Division. He's the only goalie here now for the North, as Jacob Fowler has been ruled out for tonight's challenge with an upper body injury. Akhtiamov with a save there, and so while every other division will split time in net between two goalies, it's all Akhtiamov. Zach Jones is denied on a low shot.
Yeah, and he's got an opportunity there. He's just hold, and he's trying to slide that under the 5-hole. But Galley says no.
Stretch pass and a breakaway for Arthur Kaliev. Kaliev in on goal, backhander, couldn't find the 5-hole. Winner of the hardest shot competition last night, Arthur Kaliev, former LA King and New York Ranger. Akhtiamov gets his pad on that one. It was 104 miles per hour on the gun last night for Arthur Kaliev. The hardest shot we've seen in that competition in more than 5 seasons.
Well, I'm just thankful that I'm sitting up here, Alan, and not having to block those anymore. I don't know how much more my body can take.
Yeah, that was your role, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Simashev in on goal, and he couldn't find the back of the net. It was a long stretch pass from Akhtiamov. Luca Del Belbelou's in on goal, and the stick makes the save, and then it's off the post.
Talk about a goaltending battle. It goes from one end to the next, and that's a heck of a save, heck of a poke check save there by Kaliev.
Zach Jones across, and the North Division will avoid the shutout as Arthur Kaliev makes it 3-1 with 25 seconds to play.
And it's quick, it happens quick. You lose that puck, and turnaround is quick on this. And, Luca Del Belbelou's is able to get that right out in front, and it's a tic-tac-toe in the back of the net.
Now look there at Arthur Kaliev. 29 goals at the break, leads all players in the American Hockey League. That one is played with a high stick. Fergus shoots it off the glass afterwards. They're going to let him off the hook with that one. If this was a regular season game, he was going to get mugged there.
I was going to say, there'd be a pretty big swarm, around Jagger. But, like we talked about, obviously, this is a lot of fun. We probably won't see a penalty unless it's, something that really takes something away. But, these guys are out here having fun. It's just a display of skill and talent. A lot of fun to watch.
Megna's on hat-trick watch already. We've only got 12 seconds to go. Cross-ice pass for Fergus. Knocked away. Now here he is again with 5, now 4. Megna scores! It's a Game 2 hat trick for Jason Megna.
Did they throw him? Ah, there's one. We got
hey, there we go.
Awesome. That's awesome.
There's a ball cap down there on the ice. Honestly, I'm surprised more didn't follow suit there, but how about that?
Oh, we got 2.
Jason Megna completes the hat trick. Which is extra impressive here in just an 8-minute game. That's a big smile for Jason Megna. He's in his first AHL All-Star Classic at 36 years of age. Leads the Colorado Eagles in goals with 21. And as they essentially have a ceremonial puck drop at center ice to end game number 2, it's a 4-1 victory for the Pacific. All right, so 2 games in. win an AHL All-Star Classic VIP gift bag and free set of tires courtesy of Fortune Tires. Then head over to the AHL.com/fanzone and enter right now. That's the AHL.com/fanzone. As we get set for Game 3 here of the All-Star Challenge coming up. We're here in downtown Rockford, Illinois. And some of those pieces of the rich sports history that Rockford has to offer, Garrett.
Yeah, stadium just down the road from here. Obviously, you know, there's a ton of stuff, and we were laughing obviously off camera beforehand. But do you know where the origin of the sock monkey comes from?
Enlighten me.
It is Rockford, but you know, it's unbelievable. It was something that was, you know, invented. Obviously, the gray sock with red toes, red heel. You know, the sock monkey that everybody knows, that all the kids have, was invented right here in Rockford.
Okay, all right. Well, you're a former Rockford captain. You've been around. You got to know these things. Let's take a look back to last night, the skills competition right here at the BMO Center. I still can't figure out how Ben Berard scored this goal. That's just absolute sorcery. I'm not even sure Harry Potter could do that.
And we've watched it a handful of times. I still don't know. I don't know if there's stickiness on his blade. I don't know how he gets it up there, Alan. But we just see this skill continuing on. It's unbelievable.
That wasn't all. How about Matt Bay gritted? That's pretty good too. Yeah, it's okay.
Not bad.
It's fine.
Not bad.
That was last night as we get set for Game 3. It's the Pacific against those guys, the Atlantic Division. Going back to that Ben Berard goal, was just named to his first All-Star Classic a few days ago. Obviously, around these parts, we're in Chicago Blackhawks territory. It's all about Connor Bedard. Ben Berard had something to say about it.
Well, and that's one, you know, we were talking about it, you know, beforehand, but it's hard not to fumble that name with a name in this area like Connor Bedard. And you know, Ben Berard came in and showed that there can be another one, and it's Ben Berard in Rockford today.
He said after that too, he was speaking with Dana, and he said, "That's the least useful, best skill that I've got."
Until you pull it off in a game, I don't know, to his point, that how useful it could be, but it shows you the ability. And Alan, when you start watching young kids nowadays, whether it's Swaggy P on Instagram and these guys, the stick skills that these kids have nowadays, I'll never forget it. I was one of my second training camps here in Rockford. I went up to the head coach, Derek King, and said, "Kinger, I don't think I'm going to make this team." And watching these young kids nowadays, it's pretty special.
You see the Pacific Division taking the ice, getting set for another one. There is the hero of Game 2, Jason Megna, already with a hat trick, 3 of the 4 goals in a 4-1 win in their last game. Jason Megna has 2 career American Hockey League hat tricks. One was back in 2015. The other one, Garrett, this year, December the 5th, right here in Rockford. So something about this building and Jason Megna.
Yeah, he loves the BMO Center. And, you know, I've talked about Jason Megna, just an absolute stand-up person. But, you know, a little bit of tie back, you know, to what current events that happen here right now. Father-in-law, Jim Craig.
Yes.
Miracle on ice.
Yeah.
Goaltender. You know, there's some pretty special heritage, you know, in the Megna family.
Good find, yeah. Jason Megna's father-in-law, Jim Craig. Obviously, very timely to talk about him. With Team USA getting set to start in the next few days over in Milan. Well, we have started game number 3 here of this All-Star Challenge. Pacific trying to start 2-0. Driving in with speed. Brown takes it behind the net. Look to throw it out front. It deflects back into the corner. Brown, Kyrou, Steves out there for the Atlantic. And a tie in their first game. So 1 point in the standings. Kyrou nearly lost it to Gridden. Keeps with it, throws it in front. Good save there. Callie Klang the top goaltender last night. He may not be done, although not tested that time.
Yeah, you talk about puck possession. You'll see these guys bring that puck back out, across the blue line, Alan. And the reason they're doing that is so they can keep their speed. They want to come in with speed. Your feet are stopped. Everything is man-on-man in a 3-on-3 situation. So these guys are going to go man-on-man. As soon as you beat that guy, you take that puck to the net.
Cam Lund chipped it out in front, hoping for Gridden. Gridden gathers it in the corner, centers it, and the shot finds the glass from Jugnauth.
Yeah, it's a heads up there. Just nearly misses the referee.
Christian Bros will dart in. Pacific made some changes. Jugnauth remains on, so is Lund, but now Andre Lee joins them. There's Christian Bros. Turns up the far wall. He'll voluntarily take it out to keep possession. And here's Cole McWard. Defending Calder Cup champion with the Abbotsford Canucks and then signed with the Islanders organization this past summer. As Cam Lund is back on it, 21-year-old Massachusetts native, former second-round draft pick. Lee in front, Lund, and a good diving stop there. Michael DiPietro got it the other way. A chance for Lupton on the backhand, and he missed it.
What a save by DiPietro. That's outstretched, able to get a piece of it, just bounces up over the top. But, the athleticism and the size of these goaltenders, we heard earlier, but it's unbelievable.
And that's just too easy for Ben Berard. The Pacific takes a 1-0 lead. A little spin in front, and Berard makes no mistake.
Yeah, we saw what he did last night there, Alan. I thought we were going to see it again. I thought he was going to pull that thing up, but it's awesome. And you're going to see this save on Lund there, but Michael DiPietro says absolutely not.
Hello, Glove. Welcome to Game 3. Now a couple of minutes in. Pacific with the 1-0 lead. The Atlantic Division got to the championship round last year in Coachella Valley out in Southern California. Lost to the eventual winners, the Central. Central played in Game 1. They've got a bit to go, and there's another goal for Megna. Just too easy for Jason Megna, back post, little tap it.
Well, that's when you go to the net and good things happen, Alan. They tell you that as a young kid, and so far Jason Megna's been able to slide a few in, but a handful of those, or a couple of those I should say, have been right on that back post, and just heck of a passes by his teammates to get it over top to him.
It's been the Jason Megna show so far tonight. Throughout his NHL career, he's played with Boston, Anaheim, the Avalanche, the Canucks, the New York Rangers, and the Pittsburgh Penguins. And creeping up on 600 games of regular season action in the American Hockey League as well. Iliopoulos trying to get the Atlantic on the board, drives in, throws it back out in front, down on a knee. Brown pushed it wide.
Yeah, something that amazes me every single night I watch him in Iliopoulos, Alan, is just obviously his size, but his stick. It's so long. He's able to move that puck east to west so quickly. He's almost able to wrap that puck in from the other side of the net because he's able to get it around the goaltender.
There he is right there, Iliopoulos. Third-round pick of the Washington Capitals. 2024 is that one. Goes wide. Simashev gathers it. And will play it out across the red line. Tanner Lazinski takes it in behind the net. Illinois native, Tanner Lazinski. Shorewood, Illinois, about an hour and 45 minutes away as Kyrou throws it into the corner. Comes up the wall. Bros across. Here's Kyrou. Christian Kyrou steps, leaves it. Steve scores! A brilliant shot off the bar and in for Ben Steeves.
Yeah, and Ben Steeves is a guy, he's got absolute wheels. He gets that puck. He's a one-man breakout, Alan, most nights. He's a lot of fun to watch, but you look at Kyrou. Kyrou's a guy, obviously, brother of Jordan, in Christian is, and that's a heck of a shot there by Steeves. He goes crossbar and in, or high post and in. These guys, this is a lot of fun to watch.
It's hard to find the words sometimes as Kyrou sent it across, broken up at the horn. And we're In 2023, the AHL launched an initiative to provide hockey professionals from diverse backgrounds with an opportunity to work with and be mentored by coaches, training staffs, and others in locker rooms and on benches during the AHL All-Star Classic. The AHL is proud to welcome Emily Ock, Chris Pascal, Dennis Rupi, and Carly Whitaker to Rockford to shadow the 4 AHL coaches on the bench and throughout the event. Each is building their own coaching career, and we wish them nothing but the best going forward. And as they watch on, the second half of Game 3 begins. Tight one here so far, 2-1 in favor of the Pacific. As Bros brings it in, leaves it for Christian Kyrou. Here you mentioned his brother Jordan Kyrou, former AHL All-Star, NHL All-Star as well, the St. Louis Blues. Kyrou leaves it for Steves, one of another pair of brothers, brother Alex Steves, also previously an AHL All-Star. This one broken up by Firkus. He'll stretch it along for Jugnoth, who's got his step on the backhand, denied by Sergei Murashov. And up ice, 3-on-1 building here. As the Atlantic tries to tie it, Steves, Bros takes the shot, deflects off the glass.
You see it's going to go back and forth here, Alan. There'll be one chance on one side, one chance on the other. And
look at how far out Sergei Murashov is.
Murashov plays the puck extremely well, extremely well.
I love it. Brought in by Brisson. Stripped away. The lone representative of the Hartford Wolfpack, son of legendary player agent Pat Brisson, is Brendan Brisson. Spent time in the NHL in his young career already.
You want to talk about legendary players in a lineup as an agent here, Alan.
Yeah. Oh, look out there. That's not supposed to happen in an all-star game. Brisson just took the puck right across the face. And meanwhile, on the other ends, the Pacific extends its lead. So that one into the back of the net from Andre Lee. Looks like Brisson is okay.
I think he's gonna end up going.
Oh,
I think he's gonna go off here, maybe get a couple of zips, but you know, hopefully he's okay. Hopefully it looks like it's kind of low in the chin there, so hopefully it's okay. Obviously, you know, you never want to see someone get hurt in a game, whether it's you know, an all-star game, out here trying to have a lot of fun, put on a great showcase.
And you see him going down the tunnel. You hate to see that. I don't know if I've ever seen that here in the AHL All-Star Challenge over the years. We've seen pucks go off the sticks and up high, but we will hope for the best for a quick return for Brendan Brisson. And now the Hartford Wolfpack are down to no representatives right now. He'll be back, I'm sure.
Yeah, he will. He will for sure.
They're hockey players.
100%.
For heaven's sakes.
Yeah, and that's exactly. These guys, you know, it's, you never want to see it happen, but, you know, I just want to touch, you talked about his dad there and just being a player agent, but Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, the Hughes brothers, Patrick Kane, the list goes on. A legendary agent, that's for sure.
Ben Berard was able to weave his way in, but he ran out of runway at the goal line extended. So under 90 seconds to go, Atlanta comes back in. They need 2 here to get this one tied up. Here's Protas. Ilya Protas sends it in front, deflected it on goal, and it's turned aside. Isaac Posh with another strong save. Awaiting his NHL debut, and the other way, it's Simashev in on goal, backhander, and Murashov answers himself.
Simashev on Murashov, you know, they're going to have a good laugh at that afterwards there, Alan.
All right, here's our first goalie poll of the evening. Ryan Mougenel, the head coach of the Providence Bruins, representing the Atlantic Division, will bring in Murashov for the extra attacker. 4-on-3 here. Across ice pass and a goal for Tristan Bros. He whistles a one-time slap shot in to make it 3-2.
That's a heck of a shot by Bros, but put on a tee for him here. You know, you'll be able to see this pass come across by Simashev, but you know, it's put right up on a tee for him, and you know, he leans right into that.
Second goal of the night for Tristan Bros. Made his NHL debut in November with the Penguins. 23-year-old from Bloomington, Minnesota, so it's a one-goal game. Murashov back in the crease, and now with 30 seconds to go, he is going to be reeled in. Here's Bros in, turn back the other way. These boys in black have to come touch up to keep it onside. They do. We're down to 16 seconds. Steve's pass to the interior, intercepted. Tanner Lazinski turns away, finds Jugnauth. Stripped away out at center by Brunet. 5 seconds to go, intercepted here. Tim Washi backhands it wide, and Game 3 belongs to the Pacific Division. They remain perfect.
Yeah, no, it's they're up there too, and you know, the stage is set for those guys. Obviously, you know, there's going to be some work to be done for them, but.
Well, there's your updated standings through 3 games, and the Pacific has won 2 of them. They've got a commanding lead with 4 points. Plenty more to come here tonight from Rockford. Earlier today, AHL All-Stars participated in a community event at Conklin Elementary School in conjunction with the NHL Players Inclusion Coalition. AHL players were joined by NHL alumni George Larocque and Andrew Ferentz, where they participated in a ball hockey clinic with 4th through 7th graders at the school. This initiative is part of the NHL Street program offered by the Good Shepherd YMCA in Rockford. Community outreach happens all year in all 32 AHL cities. AHL teams annually donate over $6 million to local and national charities and make thousands of appearances at local schools, rinks, and hospitals.
With George Larocque here in downtown Rockford. I think we're going to start calling it downtown La Rockford, actually. This is a pretty exciting day. Thank you so much for being here. A member of the NHL Players Inclusion Coalition. Earlier this morning out at a local elementary school. How exciting was that to give back to this community a little bit?
You know, it was awesome to see those young players coming with us and, you know, hanging out with the kids, playing hockey with these kids, because they're the future of the NHL, right? And to teach them the importance, the impact they could have in the community, it is so important. We give them some example what they could do in the community to be embraced. And they were so generous at their time. And events like this is for that. You know, you want to bring hockey to everyone, show that hockey is for everyone, and it starts with the pros.
What sort of impact do you hope to leave on every single place? Because there's so many events like this at the AHL and the NHL. How do you make sure that this continues on even after the league leaves?
You know, the thing is, we try to get hockey more popular in the States, you know, because you see all the major sport, hockey is like we're working, you know, to climb up there, right? So, and, you know, the stigma of hockey is not for everyone. Hockey is very expensive. So there's so many programs that we have out there to bring equipment, to bring hockey to different communities, because, you know, we know many sports, you need a pair of shoes and you can play, right? Yeah. Hockey, you need full gears. So it's awesome that there's more and more players getting involved with their own program, and we provide them equipment, so they're providing them to the kids so they could learn how to skate, so they can learn how to play, right? Because sports should be a big part of every kid's education, right? And the fact that they learn hockey at school, some of them never hold a stick before, they look at these guys on TV, they tell their dads, their mom, I want to play hockey now. It's just awesome. So we just want to show that it's for everyone, and we go to different communities, someplace that they never even seen hockey before, and it has a big impact on the game.
You're a product of the AHL, had some great time in Hamilton, went to a Calder Cup Finals. I don't remember exactly how it went. We won't bring it up. But how cool is it to see this league and how it's come along? You
know, this league brought me in the NHL. After I played junior, 2 years development playing in the AHL, and it got me the player that I was to be playing in the Edmonton Oilers in the NHL for 13 years. It's an awesome development league. It is so good. And I look at these guys all like try to climb up and be there. I was there at one moment. And every day, you know, you play so hard because you know NHL teams are there, they're looking you up. And, you know, there's a lot of hard work to do because it's still a long way, the AHL from the NHL. But, you know, I loved it. I lost in the Calder Cup final. It's okay. I won the Memorial Cup the year before, lost twice in the Stanley Cup final. But still, great memories from playing the AHL.
Thank you so much for the time, George.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Good stuff, Dana. As you saw Adam Engstrom give the North Division a 1-0 lead very quickly here to start game number 4, 11 seconds in. The North Division, Garrett, the only division without a point so far as they fell in game number 2 to the Pacific, 4-1 the final. Good stop there from Arthur Aktiama.
Yeah, and he's going to get a lot of rubber tonight. You talked about, obviously, with Fowler not able to go. It's going to be Aktiama the whole night. That's, you know, depending on how long this thing goes for those guys, he's going to face a lot of rubber from these other players.
How about Dana setting up that interview with George LaRockford as that one is tucked in. Beautiful shot from an angle from Connor Geekie. Yeah, LaRockford, it's so bad it's good.
It is. It's one of those where you're like, but it's awesome. And, you know, Dana does such a great job here in Rockford, obviously with the play-by-play on the radio and you know, FloHockey. So a lot of fun. Great to have him alongside with us in the broadcast.
So 2-0 North now. A couple of goals inside of the first minute of this game number 4. Connor Geekie got that one to go. Central looking for the answer. And it's played in front off of a stick. Bradley Nadeau trying to go backdoor for his teammate here tonight and with the Chicago Wolves, Justin Robida. Bradley Nadeau coming off of a season in which he scored 32 goals as a rookie last year. Only the 5th player in AHL history under 20 to score 30 plus. He had 32 goals for the former first-round pick of the Carolina Hurricanes. He can shoot the puck. He's back in with it. Having a look, he'll slide it down the wall for Fensori. Another Wolf.
I was going to say you go 3 guys with Rockford, Allen, 3 guys with Chicago. Yeah. Just roll out the 2 teams, you know, in the rivalry down the highway.
Hey, when you got chemistry, you've got chemistry. Nadeau to the middle is looking for Ryan Ufko there of the Milwaukee Admirals. Goes all the way down. Dominic Shine pops out onto the ice. In his NHL debut at 31 last year with his hometown Detroit Red Wings. Played for his idol growing up, the great Steve Yzerman.
And such a great story. You know, he's a guy that earned every single part of that call-up and first NHL game, Allen. And, you know, so happy for him. Anytime you put your name, you know, in the NHL, it's pretty special, especially do it in your hometown.
Yeah, no question. Cameron Hughes. Not a player driving. Here's Shine right on. A good, strong save there off the cuff of the glove of Aktiama. Here's Kaliev with room to make a flashy move, and outlasting him was Thomas Milic.
How about the pass by Zach Jones? He just stick out there, puts it right onto Kaliev's tape.
Ufko in front, they score! Cameron Hughes makes it a 2-1 hockey game. 1:12 to go here in the first half. And the Central's right back to within one.
Yeah, and you talk about a pass. One side, Ufko goes, hey, no. Watch this, I'll show you one better. And that's a great pass over there by Ufko.
There's a hockey smile.
Yeah.
Cameron Hughes representing the Texas Stars in his first All-Star Classic. He's in his second year with Texas after he helped Coachella Valley to the Calder Cup Finals in back-to-back years.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I was able to chat with him earlier yesterday, Alan, and he asked, where are you from? And I said, I live in Hershey. And he said, you can't say those words around me. Obviously, a little bit of a rivalry the last handful of years there in the Calder Cup Finals between Coachella and Hershey.
Two great cities. As Hunter Haight drove in, put it off the glass. Obviously, Hershey, one of the most historic teams and cities across the league. A backhander, here it goes, and it's Brett Cini, the Rockford Ice Hawks captain, to tie it. He goes backhand and in on Akhtiamov. And the crowd comes to its feet.
That's something the BMO's seen before here, Alan. That's vintage Brett Cini. He's a goal scorer, and playing a lot with him. That's just forehand, backhand, right upstairs off the bar, and it's a veteran guy showing the young kids that he can still do it.
Fans love it. So we're tied as the North Division got the first two. They've given up that lead. Engstrom, shot blocked away. They announced the assist there to Ryan Ufko, the Milwaukee Admirals. Single digits here left in the first half. And this is how the first half will come to an end. We're all tied up, but plenty more still here between the Central AHL jerseys and free monthly and yearly subscriptions to AHL TV on FloHockey. Don't miss your chance to test your luck, scan, spin, and win. Visit theahl.com/fanzone for details. Packed house here at the BMO Center in Rockford. We're halfway home in game number 4. Tied 2-2. Robida in, has Linus out front, he scores! Oh, did it stay out? No, it's a good goal. And so it looks like the Central has taken a 3-2 lead. Are they going to talk about it, or we just?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're just going to go with it. They're.
Lardis off the bar, down. Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't go in.
that definitely does not go in.
Now, in a typical game, we wouldn't see that. Obviously, they probably would make sure
We
go look at it. But
this may be unprecedented, Garrett. Are we going to video review here in an All-Star Challenge?
I think so. It's going to stay true, too.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Garrett, I was trying to whisper to you because I don't want these fans to think I'm not on their side, but there's no way that went in. And you saw the replay. There it is again. All right, so still 2-2. And there's a big smile on the face of Jared Ragusin. He's one of the All-Star referees here tonight. His 15th American Hockey League season, Mr. Jared Ragusin. He's one of the referees alongside Mike Sullivan in his 7th AHL campaign. Jamison Groner, John Ritter are working the lines as we celebrate the All-Stars as far as the players and coaches. Training staff, we also have to recognize the officials out there tonight. Oh, what a shot there. Barred down, Arthur Kaliev.
Well, that one was in. I'll tell you that for free. That's a guy that's leading the American League in goals scored right now in Kaliev, and you know, there's a reason for it, Alan. That's put over top of the blocker, and that's going quick. Heck of a shot there by Kaliev. Yeah.
Whistled it off the post, barred down. Arthur Kaliev gives the North a 3-2 lead. It's got quite the story, Garrett. Arthur Kaliev, born in Uzbekistan. His family moved to Staten Island, New York when he was just 2 years of age, and then later moved to Michigan at 13 for an even better opportunity to become a pro hockey player. And obviously he has. Is this one? His puck at. Well, there it is, back behind the net.
Okay. Stuck on top of the net there. A couple bouncing, juggling saves there by Arthur.
Just over a minute into the second half of Game 4. The North has regained its lead. Here's Kaliev. Across. Comes back this way for Peltier. Oh, what a move. Dragging. Sets up Kaliev. And then the return pass back to Peltier. Representing the Syracuse Crunch, Tampa Bay Lightning. Jacob Peltier, 24-year-old, former first-round pick of the Calgary Flames. Came over on that Andrei Kuzmenko trade. Nadeau gloves it down, flips it ahead, little alley-oop try. Doesn't work out for Shine. Oh, what a move there for Aktiyama.
And that's one, and again, their goaltender showing you, hey, I can do that too. I can show you guys that the goaltenders have skill.
Hallinan tries to go top shelf, and it deflects up and into the mesh.
Yeah, watch this puck bounce. Not once, not twice, 3 times, 4 times with an elbow. We're going to get a little bit of a view of Artur Aktiyamov's skill level here, Alan, of little 360 spinorama right on the tape.
Another player who made his NHL debut earlier this season, back in December, in a game between the Leafs and the Edmonton Oilers. How about that, having to face Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl in your NHL debut?
Probably not 2 guys that you want to pick to face in your debut, but you know, it's anytime you put that jersey on as your debut, for him to do it, you know, pretty special for the Leafs.
2-on-1 for the North. Drop pass. Hallen in the trailer, right on, deflected up into the air by Kosa, and then it's batted wide. Sebastian Kosa has helped Grand Rapids to a record-setting start this year. Still the leaders in the AHL. Here at the break, shot off the glass, comes back out in front, lobbed ahead by Jones. Gonna come all the way back for Kosa in his 2nd consecutive All-Star Classic. 23-year-old. Upko in, cross-ice pass down on a knee, and a great save there from Aktiyama on Robida. Back out in front, scramble at the top of the crease. Seedy across. Kosa is getting pulled on the other side of the ice as the shot's deflected away. The Central needs a goal to tie it. Head coach Dan Watson has reeled in Sebastian Kosa. 38 seconds to go. Here's Upko in, delays, drags to the middle, spins, and the cross-ice pass intercepted. And a shot just missed from all the way down off the stick of Zach Jones. Still time left here for the Central as the crowd starts to come to its feet. Lardis drives in. Robidas. Cini steps across. Robidas shoots it off the glass. Robidas again. Throws it down the wall. Cini to the goal line. Has a look. Looks over his options out front. And Lardis right on. Had it deflect away courtesy of Akhtiamov. And the North holds on for a 3-2 win.
Well, and you almost wonder here a little bit, Alan, if that's working on his favor. He's playing all of these games. He's getting lots of touches.
Yep.
You almost wonder if that plays in his favor here a little bit for him.
So Akhtiamov, Kaliev, and the rest of the North Division pick up their first win of this round-robin tournament. There you see it, up to 2 points. Their first 2 points of the evening, still 2 back of the Pacific. The Central and the Atlantic not far behind with 1 point. Well, the AHL is proud to continue its participation in Hockey Fights Cancer. Launched in 1998 by the NHL and NHLPA, Hockey Fights Cancer has raised nearly $45 million on behalf of those living with, going through, and moving past cancer. 23 American Hockey League teams held Hockey Fights Cancer Nights this season, a part of the league-wide cancer awareness efforts in all 32 AHL cities. To learn more or donate, please visit NHL.com or v.org/HFC. Welcome back to the 2026 American Hockey League All-Star Challenge. Live tonight from Rockford, Illinois. The BMO Center has been loud all night so far, and it has been a very entertaining evening. We welcome you back into the booth here during the intermission. Alan Fearing alongside Garrett Mitchell, and you never know who you're going to run into at an All-Star Classic. The president and CEO of the American Hockey League, Mr. Scott Howson, joining us here. And Scott, what an event this has been. The league celebrating its 90th season. I'm curious how you guys in the office are commemorating this season and what you guys are doing to really celebrate the big number 90.
Well, first of all, we featured a lot of content on our website celebrating our past. We have such a great story to tell, tradition to tell. A lot of people put a lot of work into this league that we're all benefiting from now. We want to celebrate that. And then we have 17 teams participating in throwback jerseys. So they've been a big hit with our fans and big hit with our teams, and we'll continue to celebrate that throughout the rest of the year.
Well, it's been a fun season so far for you guys, the American Hockey League and its teams. And I think back just recently, a couple of weeks ago, that outdoor game as part of Hockey Day in Minnesota between the Iowa Wild and the Milwaukee Admirals. Scott, it's just a little bit warmer in here tonight.
Oh, man, was that cold. And,
-8 at puck drop.
I got to the rink early, and we were in a nice little warm place, and there were people in the stands already an hour before the game, and I couldn't believe it. And, the Wild staff, both Minnesota and Iowa, did a great job. The players were phenomenal, competitive game, and we had an overtime game.
Yeah.
And they wanted to play more in the cold, so it was a great event, and very, very, very cold.
Yeah, and obviously so many of the guys grew up playing on the pond, and obviously, Scott, it's been a busy day for you guys, and your front office, obviously with the Hall of Fame induction. How special is that to see these guys come in? Just share some of the past that those guys have had here in the American Hockey League.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that strikes me every year is how meaningful it is to these players. We had Wendell Young today, Chris Bork and Jim Weimer, and Alexander Giroux, and they had family there, they had friends come in, and it was just a wonderful event, and I brought them down to the dressing room to introduce them to the guys, and just to reinforce that this is a part of their careers they're gonna cherish, and those guys are living memories of it. So.
Well, we're here in Rockford, Illinois tonight. They have been tremendous hosts for this event. After we're done here, you guys kind of look forward to next year's American Hockey League All-Star Classic, and that will be in the city of Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes, we're looking forward to that. The Cleveland Monsters will host us, and it's going to be another great event. We've been so lucky. We had a terrific event in Coachella Valley last year. This has been a home run. We had a home run in Laval and San Jose before that, so we think Cleveland's going to be another home run for us.
Well, we are looking forward to that. We've got plenty of action still tonight here in Rockford. I'm curious, have you gotten a chance to watch part of this All-Star Challenge so far? And if so, your thoughts on the talent out there tonight?
Lots of talent, lots of young talent.
Yeah.
Lots of very young players, and that's what we're about. We're a development league. We're a primary development league for the NHL, and it's so great to celebrate our players, our young talent. And I was just saying at the Hall of Fame ceremony, there were like 5 or 6 guys that were in this game last year, whether it's Ritzkovian or Simon Nemec, Askarov, and they're full-time NHL players now. And we'll see the same thing with some of these guys next year.
How about Dalibor Dvorsky was here at the All-Star Classic a year ago, and now he's playing for Slovakia in the Olympics and had quite the day earlier today, an overtime winner and an upset win.
Big upset.
Yeah, huge upset, yeah. Scott, always great to see you. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Got plenty more to come here from Rockford. Dana Gray will be joined by the honorary captains when we return. Plenty more coming up here tonight as we continue on with the AHL All-Star Challenge.
Welcome back to downtown Rockford with two guys that need absolutely no introduction around here, but we'll do it anyways. Patrick Shark to my left, Chris Versteeg to my right, a former Ice Hogs captain in Chris Versteeg. Chris, what's it like to be back in this building?
Yeah, it's incredible. You forget how much passion this fan base has. They love their team, they love their sports, they love the Hawks and the Hogs, and it just feels special to be back and seeing everyone again.
Now, Patrick, you had some time in the AHL, a Calder Cup champion with then Philadelphia. What do you remember about that experience?
I remember it was an awesome run in Philly. The Phantoms organization was as good as it can be as far as the American League. They took great care of us. And I remember the city of Philadelphia really rallying behind that group. Now that we're in Rockford and it's a big rival, I think it's important that I say the best part about that championship was beating the Wolves in the finals. But it was an awesome experience, and I think that I carry those lessons with me later in my career.
How's the trash talking going on between you two? I know you got 5 cups between one another, but
yeah, we're competitive. We got a big finals match coming up here, and that's the one that matters. So Steger's doing a good job right now in the preliminary rounds, but I'll see him in the finals.
Chris, I want to ask you, your time in the AHL, what do you remember specifically that you learned and made this experience so helpful? Not even just on the ice, but the things you learned to do as an adult living alone.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. You're 19, you're 20 when I started. You got to learn how to pay bills. I didn't even know what taxes were when I came into the AHL, I'm not going to lie. But it's just so many learning lessons off the ice. You learn from great veterans. I play with guys like Ben Guite and a lot of guys like that. Taught me the ways on the ice, and then obviously you attribute it to your NHL career, but so many off-ice and on-ice learning lessons that are learned here, and I'm very grateful for all the people that helped me.
And lastly, Patrick, I know you guys have spent some time down the road at the United Center over the last few weeks. Is it instant memories that flood back when either of you guys see one another?
Yeah, big time. It's always good to catch up with former teammates and buddies. We don't see each other a lot in our regular lives. We live all across North America, those specific teams, but whenever we get back together, we pick up where we left off, and that applies for the Phantoms group as well. Winning that cup way back in 2005, it's great to see some Phantoms along the way, and you just start telling stories of the good old days.
And Chris, I got one more for you. You were a big part of that Blackhawks rebuild in the late 2000s that started here in Rockford. Do you see similar shades of what the Chicago Blackhawks have coming up through their system right now?
For sure. I mean, they've had a lot of rough seasons, I guess. They've had a lot of good drafts, and they have a lot of young guys that are starting to come through this program now. Or the guys like a Kane/Bedard, you know, those first overall, second overall picks that can put you into good contention. And now it's about putting the pieces together, and they have a lot of good pieces that hopefully they can build on and get back to where they want to be.
Thank you both so much. Take it easy out there. We got Game 5.
Welcome back to the 2026 AHL All-Star Challenge presented by BMO. Game 5 coming up between the North Division and the Atlantic. It has been an awfully entertaining night so far, and we've got plenty more to come. And as these games continue on, the heat gets turned up just a little bit more each time. And quickly in here for the Atlantic Division is Brendan Brisson, who took a puck up high earlier, went back to the room in fact, but he's back out there. And he's a part of this 3-on-3 start to game number 5. And on goal, Cole McWard deflects up off the glass after it clipped the glove of Akhtiamov. And then back in front again, a strong save from Akhtiamov.
Yeah, Brisson to Steve's there. That's a heck of a save by Akhtiamov.
And now the North in the other way, coming into this one off of a win. The North has taken second place overall in the standings, just behind the Pacific. 1 point ahead of the Atlantic as this one deflects in on goal off the stick of Dauphin. And as you've noticed already, there are not a lot of whistles here tonight. The goalies play the puck very quickly. The shot misses from Brunet. And then Kaliev in on a break alone. Kaliev drags. Oh, it's poked away. Rebound on for Dauphin. Backhand wraparound stuffed.
Sergei Mirshev standing on his head there.
Here's Bros. The stick of Akhtiamov. Akhtiamov for the North Division in net. And as we've talked about, he is getting the bulk of the load of work here with Jacob Fowler not available. He's the other goalie representing the North Division in the Laval Rocket. Sergei Murashov. A fake pass there. And then he'll fire it off the far wall and down.
So Sergei Murashov learned English, Alan, through Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter reading.
Okay.
Maybe not, you know, the 2 books if I didn't know English that I was going to pick up, but, you know, he's come over to North America, obviously wants to learn English, and, you know, that's where he's going.
Jack Define goes low and scores. Grew up a Blackhawks fan, was a Cubs and Bears fan as well. In the Chicago area, currently 7th in rookie scoring in the AHL with 29 points, and he gets himself onto the score sheet here tonight.
I ran into him actually in Charlotte not long ago, and you know, just kind of caught up with him and told him that I played in Rockford. He was like, oh, no way, grew up just outside. Obviously a big Blackhawks fan, big Chicago Bears fan. You know, it's always fun when worlds collide and you're able to kind of have a common ground with a guy throughout the league.
Zach Rosen, number 14th overall pick of the Buffalo Sabres. Leads it on for Peltier. 90 seconds to go here in the first half of game 5. Atlantic against the North. Obviously both of these teams within the AHL's Eastern Conference. Zach Jones in his first season with Rochester. With the first 4 years of his career in the New York Rangers organization. As it knocked off his stick and out by Matt Luff. And then it's Protas in on goal, and he missed. Talked a lot about Ilya Protas, his older brother, who wore the same number 40 for the Hershey Bears. Alexei Protas currently up with the Washington Capitals. As this one goes off the back glass.
I'll tell you what, it's not going to be long before those 2 are teammates up in Washington. You know, it's obviously a big body, and you know, I think Washington's doing the right thing, just letting him, you know, improve his game and just learn the North American style of hockey there in Hershey.
Alexei's 5.5 years older, as this one's shrugged away by Murashov. But Alexei Protas says that Ilya Protas is way ahead of him as far as development at that age. Oh, there's a little tap in, Cole McWard. Ilya Protas in front as well, and good teamwork between Atlantic teammates. As this one at the top of the crease was brushed home by McWard.
Great pass over to Patrick Bound, and you know, McWard just he's on the receiving end of that, just a tap in. It's a 4x6 past Akhtiamov.
21.2 left on the clock. At least here in the building. On your screen, 19.8. There's a discrepancy there somehow. Brisson in, fires it just wide. And this one deflects up and out of play. By the way, Garrett, the Pacific Division has clinched a spot in the final, so we'll see the Pacific a little bit later on. They'll play in the championship game. If the North wins this one, they clinch. Although right now, the Atlantic with a healthy 2-0 lead. Still got a second half to go here.
Well, and we've seen how quickly that can turn in this.
Oh, there's a low shot in from Patrick Brown. Surprised Aktiamov. I think he thought that pass was coming across the slot. Patrick Brown calls his own number.
Yeah, he does. You know, and that's one there, Alan, where you're almost looking, waiting, and you know, Aktiamov just ends up cheating just a little bit, thinking he's going to pass it. You know, loads up on that foot, and you know, leaves that 5-hole open for Patrick Brown.
3-0. The shot from center is blocked away, and the second half is on tap. The Atlantic trying to hold on and extend its lead. They're not going down without a fight here in the 2026 AHL All-Star Challenge presented by BMO.
Back at downtown Rockford with forward Jack Devine. An important game for you guys. You guys need this one. You liking the start?
Yeah, big 3-0 start there. Boys are having a lot of fun, and a couple big plays by Brownie, so just got to keep it going here.
You're an Illinois native. How cool is it to have this experience in this state, and what I would assume with a lot of family in the building?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, community of Rockford's come out here, showed out. I mean, I've had 5-6 family members here, so it's been a lot of fun, especially only being about an hour away.
Best of luck the rest of the women.
Awesome, thank you.
Great stuff all night so far. Dana, thanks so much for that. Keep your eye on the puck as well down there. Wouldn't want anything to happen to that lovely face of yours down on the bench. Not only the radio voice, but he's got a great face for Flow TV as well for those Rockford Ice Hogs broadcasts.
100%. I was going to ask him, maybe was his skating skills that they put him just on his feet there tonight? Yeah. I wasn't sure you know, where they're going with that, but no, it's you're doing a great job. We like I said before, I'm proud to be up here with both of you guys and enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't too bummed when they didn't ask me to put out on the skates for night number 2. I survived somehow a full 2 hours, and we'll take that.
Dana, we've been talking all night about how competitive this is going to get here down the stretch. What are the vibes on the Atlantic bench right now? I mean, they're in a good spot, 3-0, but is it tense at all?
Yeah, I would say it's not cliche at all to say that every game things have gotten a little bit more tense. The back checking is a little bit harder. Guys are talking more, calling out. And you heard going into this game, everyone on the bench here on the Atlantic said, we need this one, we need this one. Yeah. And they're exploding for every goal. So don't tell me these guys don't care about it.
No. 44 players here tonight are first-time AHL All-Stars. So their first taste of this marquee event. 11 players are in their rookie season. 18 total players selected in the first or second rounds of previous NHL drafts. A lot of star power here. It's certainly not cliche to say this is the next wave of NHL talent. We've got 2.5 to go here in the second half of this Game 5. Commanding lead for the Atlantic. Frederic Brunet in behind the net out to the line. Has Ben Steeves. Shadowed by Roseyan. Steeves back and forth. Keeps it on his stick. Now drives in towards the net. Backhand shot missed.
Yeah, it's it's puck control. So much of this game, 3-on-3 here, Alan, is puck control. These guys, they're going to go back and forth. Just don't want to give one up quick.
Roseyan, oh, great stick work there from Brunet, and it's Steeves in alone. It's a 3-on-0. Steeves gives it up, got it back, sends it across, and it's a 4-0 Atlantic lead. Tristan Brose, his third goal of the night.
Yeah, he's a recipient there, Alan, on a tic-tac-toe 3-on-0. Akhtiyamov just unable to get all the way across, but back and forth. Tristan Brose, the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, is able to put that in the back of the net past Akhtiyamov.
Tristan Brose having quite the evening. The Atlantic leads 4-0 here with 1:47 to go. As this one stepped it on goal, they're trying to add to it. Matt Luff driving, stopped by Akhtiyamov. This one comes up and out of the zone. Jack Devine is back after it.
You wonder, do you see an early pull? I don't know what it is, obviously in the shortened periods, but do you see an early pull here? I know there's so much analytics nowadays that come into play in the game of hockey, but I don't know, maybe you see an early pull here.
That's the decision for Pascal Vincent, as this one from Kyrou banked off the backside of Akhtiyamov, stayed out. Pascal Vincent, head coach of the Laval Rockets, behind the bench of the North Division in his second AHL All-Star Classic. Former AHL Most Outstanding Coach as well. Throughout a very impressive career so far. Kyrou in the final minute has Luff, called it his own number and missed. By the way, Garrett, these coaches not just randomly selected, as Devine played it off a leg, kicks out. These guys earn their way here by what they've done this season. The head coach is selected because their teams were in first place in their divisions by January the 11th, a predetermined date. As that one doesn't work out, throwing the stick out was Akhtiyamov. And the other way, slow moving 2-on-1. Helenos across, and it does not go. Diving out, stacking the pads, DiPietro. He's not done yet. Gallia with 13 on the clock. Banned on that one.
Dominic Hasek-esque, right? Old school double pad stack by Michael DiPietro.
Here at the horn, Geeky stopped by DiPietro. It's a shutout in game number 5 for the Atlantic Division, finished off by Michael DiPietro, the AHL leader in goals against average, save percentage, and wins as well here at the break. Okay, so the Atlantic gets a win. They've got 3 points. They pull ahead of the North. The Pacific has already clinched. And you see there 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's take a look at our Youngblood highlights of Game 5. Youngblood in theaters on March the 9th. All Atlantic Division there.
Yeah, led by the captain, Patrick Brown. And Scott talked about obviously the youngness of the league, but you need that leadership to help these young guys out through their career.
Well, we've got There's a whole lot of Rockford IceHogs fans in here tonight. Of course, Kevin Korchinski, our #1 All-Star. Rockford's got 3 of them. And the IceHogs and the Central Division are on tap here in Game 6 against the Pacific. They're already headed. The Pacific Division is already headed to the championship. And there's Kevin Korchinski, 7th overall pick of the Chicago Blackhawks back in 2022. He's played in 94 NHL games already. The Central Division, Garrett needs to win by 4 to move on to the championship. If they don't, it'll be the Pacific against the Atlantic.
It's getting tight at the top there.
Bradley Nadeau out front. Robidoux, the top of the crease, swept away by Posh. Isaac Posh in net here for the Pacific. He's not done yet. Oh, he got across. Robidoux moving in. We got 3 Chicago Wolves out there. The guys in red. Fensori, Robidoux, and Nadeau. And then in net, Sebastian Kosa, who wants a penalty. We haven't had a penalty called all night. And no trip there. By the way, we in that instance would not have a power play. It would be a penalty shot. The Central feels like they got gypped a little bit there. Is 2-on-1 potentially coming for the Pacific. Lund across. It's gathered up and taken to the corner here on the near side.
You talked about Kevin Korchinski, Alan, and you know, I had the pleasure of, in his rookie season, you know, kind of watching him go through training camp, and absolutely phenomenal. Him coming in as an 18-year-old kid into Chicago, going through training camp, looked like one of the best defensemen in training camp. So there's a bright future for that young kid in Kevin Korchinski.
2-on-1 here. Cameron Hughes delays. Shine. Hughes across, and it doesn't go. Ryan Upco there trying to polish it off. It's still a 0-0 game here in Game 6. No chance there for Lund. And it winds up around the boards and in the corner.
Don't tell me the boys from the Central here, Alan, don't know that they have to win by 4 to continue going on here.
They're moving. It's the defending champs of this event, the Central Division. Hunter Hay, a screamer off the back glass. We talked with the president and CEO, Scott Housen, Garrett, about the outdoor event a couple of weeks ago, part of Hockey Day in Minnesota. Hunter Haight was in that game, actually scored the first goal of that event. Ryan Upco, who is also playing here tonight representing Milwaukee, was a part of that one. Upco's played in 3 different outdoor games throughout his young career already. Said that one was by far the coldest. As Korchinski brings it in, has Haight in front, he's denied.
What a save by Pasha.
Isaac Posh rising to the occasion. Gerard had it knocked away. Here's Nick Lardis. Minute to go here in the first half of Game 6. 0-0. Again, the Central needs to win by 4. And we've got 3 Rockford IceHogs out there. Here's Korchinski. In behind the net. Looks over his options. Tim Washy stays there in tow. Thrown to the front. Deflected. Back behind Cassini. Central makes a change. Fensori comes in. Goes to the top of the crease. Swatted away. Posh stretches it ahead. And here's a breakaway for Quinn Hudson. Hudson. Oh, what a try! I've never seen that.
Fun out here. They're having fun. That's you know, by Hudson. You know, that's not easy to do. And you know, he makes that look extremely easy. That's not an easy thing to do. Little don't get as much wood on that as he does.
7 seconds to go. Jugnaut, home run pass ahead. Hudson delays, fires, glove down, and played by Kosa at the horn. 0-0 after 4 minutes here in Game 6. We got to take another look at this, Garrett.
Yeah, watch this. I mean, you know, you talk about you know, the brother, or with Hudson being the oldest brother, and you know, that's one you practiced out on the pond, and you know, that's the old school kick. And I don't know, are you kicking a field goal there? Where do you put him? That's a heck of a job there by Quinn Hudson.
Unbelievable. Quinn Hudson, 24-year-old North Barrington Illinois native not too far away. Let's head back downstairs. Dana Gray, who you got down there, Dana?
We got Mark Testu, the head coach of the Pacific Division, 2-0 and doing well so far, en route to the championship game. You know that. How cool has this experience been for you?
Oh, it's fun, especially meeting some of the guys. Being a part of this is it's always nice representing the organization and being here.
Your Eagles captain is putting on quite a show as well as playing captain. What have you seen from him tonight?
Same thing I've seen all year. For 36, getting up and down the sheet. And today doing it as a defenseman, so he's impressive as always.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
The Olympics with Team and Garrett, from one tough guy to another. We've talked already tonight about Brandon Brisson. Took a puck in the face. You don't see that hardly at all in all-star events. You called it, Garrett. He had to go back and get stitched up. That's what's that was the damage.
And he came right back out. You know, he missed obviously the rest of that game, and he came right back out. You called it right away. You said you were going to see him again. You know, he would have gone in, got cleaned up, come right back out, and you talk about hockey tough, and that's exactly it right there.
There's a good chance off the post. It kicks out from Robitaille here. Just in the first 10 seconds of the second half of Game 6. What's the over/under on Zips there? We don't have an official number.
I got to say at least 3.
Shot from Gridden deflects off the back wall. Matvey Gridden. Jugnov put it off the outside of the post.
Something about the lips too. I've had tons of different stitches through the lips. Those are not fun to get. That's a difficult one. Very painful.
Gonna be tough to put down that post-event smoothie. The shot goes into the back of the net. Quick release for Bradley Nadeau. First goal of Game 6 belongs to Nadeau in the Central.
Well, and he's got so many different options there, Alan. He's at, standing up high in the top, and it's one teammate to another there in the dough, and he's able to find the back of the net. And these guys, fans love watching this, but being able to put it on a tee like that, it's there's a certain skill just in that alone, and these guys are doing a phenomenal job.
Hughes scores! Cameron Hughes, it's a 2-0 Central lead. They needed a couple of quick ones to get back in business again. They need to win by 4 in order to make it to the championship round. They're halfway home.
You got to think there's a face-off play run there, because they are all talking beforehand. You see Hughes going right through the middle. That's a one draw over to Kurchinski, snapped right up to Hughes, and he buries that.
Just over a minute into the second half here. 2-0 Central. 2 more goals to go as Korchinski finds a high-flying Hunter Haight through center. Trying to dance his way around Lund. Ran out of real estate. He'll keep it on his stick. Haight downstairs. Brought out to the line by Hughes. Kevin Korchinski walks the line. Steps. Watched by Megna, who's got 4 goals tonight. One will play it ahead. Here is Megna. Had a hat trick in game 2. Andre Lee drives the crease. Could not beat the left pad of Milic. Here's the stretch pass. Dominic Shine. Shine winds, fires, and it goes off the back glass.
I love that. And, you're starting to see these guys stretch. Those guys know, and don't tell me they don't care about this, Alan. Those guys are going, and the Central's trying to get forward to continue on here tonight.
We should mention it's Thomas Milic in net in the red jersey for the Central. Over on the other end for the Pacific Division, Callie Klang, who won the CCM top goaltender honors last night. Shine into the circle for Fensori. Loses it in his skates. Plays it downstairs. Oh, Shine was all alone in front of the net. And Larnus fanned on the pass. Here comes Simashev. Dmitry Simashev tried for the top left corner and missed.
Yeah, you can tell Lardis looks up to the sky there, Alan. He's hoping to get that over to Dominic Shine on the one-timer.
You're Dan Watson. You got to be thinking about pulling Milic here, right?
Yeah, we talked about a little bit of an early pull, and we saw how it worked, in games previous. You can score a couple, especially out another player.
And yeah, the Central's got a 2-0 lead, but they're not moving on to the championship unless they score 2 more. Simashev shut down. And here's a chance up ice with numbers. Fensori flying in. Fensori across, they score! Brett Cini, it's a 3-0 Central lead. That goal coming just as Milic made his way to the bench.
All right, so your captain puts it on his back here in Rockford and Brett Cini, and I think you're going to see it's this face-off matters, Alan. It's I know there's 45 seconds left, but in a situation like this, they're going to try to win this draw, get Milic off. They're going to make this a game, and right now it's a 3-0 lead there for the Central. They're going to try to get that 4th goal to head on to the rest of it.
This is an awfully competitive team. Every player for the Central Division here in this All-Star Classic has played at least one NHL game, but they're without the puck right now. It's brought into the corner by Washi, burning off some valuable time. Jugnauth, pass out in front, take it away, 26 seconds to go. They have pulled Milic, and here we go, Lardis is in. Lardis, 20 seconds, steps off the post, they score! Bradley Nadeau on the rebounds. And the Central Division has scored 4 straight. They've done just what they needed to do with 17 seconds to play.
Yeah, and they didn't even get Milic all the way off the ice, Alan. It's all they did, actually, because Bradley Nadeau came off the bench. So, that's a good pull by them. They're able to, get that 4th goal, and now they got to keep it, right? It's You got 17.3 left. We talked about this. This is exciting. Going back and forth. Lots of ice out there for these guys.
And this would be your championship matchup, too. I'm thinking about the Atlantic Division right now, watching on. Absolutely helpless. There's nothing they can do about it. That is the last thing the Atlantic Division wanted to see. Lardis off the post. Nadeau puts it in. The Central Division needed to win by 4, and they have done it. What do you say we have a rematch?
Yeah, there you go. Let's get a clean sweep here, and we'll go right back to it. And you know, it's great. Obviously, you know, here playing in Rockford for the Central Division to continue on, pretty special for these guys. Pretty special to play in front of their home crowd and crowds that are here. You know, the Chicagos, the Milwaukee's, everybody else.
The Atlantic Division, you see them there. What? We're done? Bradley Nadeau scored 2 of the 4 in Game 6. Former first-round pick of the Carolina Hurricanes. As we take a look at the Youngblood highlights, Youngblood in theaters on March the 9th. Brett Seney got one as well, the Rockford captain, just what the doctor ordered. The hometown hero, and Nick Lardis, another hometown kid. But the Rockford Ice Hawks put it off the post. The rebound for Nadeau. The Central trying to win this All-Star Challenge for the 2nd consecutive year. They're headed to the championship game. They'll take on the Pacific as you take a look at the final standings. Dana, what are the vibes like downstairs, and who you got on the ice?
Well, I've got to my left, Ice Hawk, Brett Seney, and to my right, Wolves, Bradley Nadeau. A matchup we don't usually get. That was kind of wild, guys. These All-Star games, you never really know the pace and competitiveness. Seemed like you guys wanted that there in the second half.
Yeah, the boys dug until the end, and that was a good win to put us in the finals there.
It was 0-0. You needed 4 goals, for everyone that didn't know, to move on to the championship game. How wild is it to be playing with Central Division foes and make a comeback like that?
Yeah, it was huge. Yeah, we knew we needed to win by 4, so good second period here. Should be a good matchup next.
You're playing the same team that you just faced off. Did you just keep the same sort of push for adversity here?
Yeah, we'll stick to the same system here, and hopefully we'll have the same result.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Good luck. Thanks.
The finals are coming up next here at the BMO Center in downtown Rockford, Illinois. This crowd going for the Central, and back-to-back. We'll find out if they can pull it off next. Garrett, we've got some controversy here in Rockford. You see the Atlantic Division leaving the Zam Tunnel heartbroken. They thought they should be playing in this championship game. We've got to go all the way down to the 5th tiebreaker because the points were even. The next tiebreaker is head-to-head record. That was the same between the Central and the Atlantic. Non-shootout wins, same. Goal differential, the exact same. Goals for, you guessed it, the same. The fifth tiebreaker is the quickest goal to start a game, and the Central Division wins that tiebreaker. And so they earn the right to face the Pacific in the championship game, which is underway.
All right, so not to play devil's advocate here, what's the sixth tiebreaker if it would have been the same? But great job by the American Hockey League to have 5 different separate ones. You know, phenomenal. It's this is a lot of fun. We've had a blast doing it, and Central stays on, and the Atlantic, you know, goes home.
I think once we got that far down the list, the league front office said, you know what, I think we're going to take our chances that the quickest goal isn't the exact same time.
True. Amen.
Now, to your point, if it was, I don't know, maybe
shootout.
Yeah, shootout. Maybe makes the most sense. Yeah. The Central Division beat the Atlantic in the championship game in Coachella Valley last February. We're taking on the Pacific here, trying to go back-to-back and send this crowd into jubilation. Scoreless here. We're about a minute in to the 7th and final game. It's been fun. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight. Alan Furing, Garrett Mitchell, Dana Gray with you. Here's Kevin Korchinski. Hughes in the slot off his stick. Andre Lee. And a couple of men darting up the far wall. Plays it to the middle. Here's Jugnoff. And the reaching stick of Korchinski on the back check. Brought it free. 2-on-1 for the Central. Shine. It's poked away. Yeah, those back checks are getting a little quicker, a little harder.
Yeah, you can see Kevin Korchinski puts his head down there, Alan, and he makes sure he's getting back. He picked the pocket, you know, the Pacific Division there, but it matters. These guys care. They want to come out with that trophy at the end of it.
And the trophy presentation after we finish up here. We're halfway through the first half of the championship game. Berard lost it. A fanned on it. It winds up in the crease. Quickly played by Kosa. The Central couldn't clear. Right back in. Lazinski representing the Henderson Silver Knights. Trying to chip it out front. Helped out by Megna. I've got my eye on 21 in white. Jason Megna. He's had an incredible night so far. He's had an incredible season.
Yeah, already with a hat trick there, Alan, too. It's, you know, the old man showing he can still play. And I say old man, he's not an old man by any means, but the oldest, you know, out here in the All-Star Classic.
He's younger than you are.
Sure.
He's also an AHL All-Star. First time you were an All-Star is tonight here in the booth.
I know, I was joking around with my parents and family.
Oh, there's a one-time goal! The Pacific Division takes a 1-0 lead thanks to Ben Berard, who stole the show last night, and he's got the Pacific off and running in the championship.
But yeah, it's, you know, it's just phenomenal, Alan. But, you know, I was joking around with my parents and family saying, you know, it took me 15 years and having to retire to make my first All-Star game. But, you know, it's been a pleasure, you know, once again, working with yourself and Dana down ice level. You know, look for a great rest of this championship match.
It has been a lot of fun. As Bensori drives in, lost the handle on it. He wants a penalty.
Couple times from the Central there. They want that call.
Robidas to the net, and it shrugged away and moved to the corner from the stick of Posh. Lead pass here, Washi with a step. Tim Washi goes low, rebound. He couldn't get it to go past Kosa. Back in the other way, Cini. Backhander caught the stick of Simashev, and it shoots it up and out of play.
Yeah, here you go. It's, you know, we're seeing all of this here tonight, and, you know, it's been a lot of fun watching these guys battle back and forth. But Posh with a couple of big saves, and, you know, Sebastian Costa says, you know, not so quick. I'll show you that I can do the exact same thing.
Sebastian Costa, who's played in the National Hockey League, former 15th overall pick of the Red Wings. One consecutive Goalie of the Month awards earlier this season in the AHL. First player to do so since Logan Thompson. Bensori To the interior, broken up, Simashev. He's got a path, lines, fires, and it's turned aside. He had to hurry it. Not much time left. We're halfway through the championship game, and the Pacific has a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, that's one where Simashev looks up, Alan. He looks up, he knows the time. He knows he's got to get that thing off quick, and just gets to the top of, just inside the blue line, top of the circles, and lets one fly, hoping to beat the buzzer.
Dmitry Simashev, just 21. AHL Rookie of the Month in January. 11 points in 10 games. There's the goal scorer here in the championship game so far, Ben Berard of the Abbotsford Canucks.
Yeah, we saw what he can do, Alan, earlier last night, and very talented kid that is going to have a bright future, continue on in the NHL.
4 minutes to go in the championship. If we're tied after this 4 minutes ends, we'll go to a shootout. It'll be endless as long as we need to determine a championship. Nadeau drives wide in, throws it out front. Hughes alone, stuffed. Callie Klang got enough of it, back the other way. And it's Gritton, Matt Bay Gritton. For 18 last night, 92 now. That's his number in the National Hockey League, paying tribute to his childhood hero, Evgeny Kuznetsov. Jagger Firkus. Firkus to the net, he scores! The Firkus Circus back in town. It's 2-0.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the save here before we get to the beautiful goal, but a heck of a save by Milic, or by Callie Klang, I'm sorry, and you called it. The Circus does it once again, forehand, backhand up over top of Milic's shoulder. That's a beauty.
Talked about his nickname. It's an all-timer. His Coachella Valley Firebirds head coach, Derek Laxall, affectionately calls him Jagger, not Jagger, but Jagger, as a nod to Jaromir Jagr.
Jaromir Jagr, there you go. Well, you can see the skill. You can see the correlation between the two. It's an extremely talented kid. Goes 4 for 4 last night in accuracy shooting. He showed us, some pretty special stuff here tonight.
Second round pick of the Seattle Kraken in 2022. Dominic Shine cut behind the net. Stretches it out for Korchinski. Korchinski through the circle and back behind. Watched by Cam Lund. 2.5 to go. 2-0. Pacific with the lead. Here's Hunter Haight. Cuts back. Leaves it. Shine. On goal. Backhand shot denied by Klang. He's had an excellent week here representing the San Diego Gulls. Cam Lund just named to his first AHL All-Star Classic on Sunday. 2 minutes to go. The Central was able to score 4 consecutive goals just to get here. Back in Game 6, can they score 2 to get even with the Pacific? They've got under 2 minutes to do so as this one stripped away. Korchinski knocked it off the stick of Berard.
Yeah, it just shows you the parity at this level, Alan, of the two teams. It's a team that won 4-0. They're down 2-0 in this second period.
Simashev in, dances free, ran out of space, but kept the puck. Berard, greeted by Lardis. Every player for the Pacific Division here tonight is attending his first All-Star Classic. What an introduction to this marquee event it would be to win it. Net empty, shot off the post there, as going to the bench is the netminder for the Central. So Milic on the bench. Stripped away there from Cini. Empty net to shoot out for Berard. Leaves it for Lazinski. Tanner Lazinski holds and scores. Tanner Lazinski, the native of Shorewood, Illinois. An hour and a half away. may have just put the finishing touches on this one for the Pacific.
Yeah, you know, and that's one too, Alan. You have 55 seconds left. Things happen extremely quick, 3-on-3. You know, I don't want to say that Ledzinski doesn't put the final cap on it, but there is 55 seconds here. I think you're going to end up, you know, seeing Milic come fairly quickly right away as soon as they win this puck.
It's one back into the Pacific zone, a 3-0 lead. Out in front, Hughes scores! Cameron Hughes up and over the glove. He's got his second goal of this tournament. Okay, so there's one. You can't get all three back at once, Garrett, but you need to chip away, and Cameron Hughes gets the first one.
Yeah, and the Central does exactly that. I talked about it. It happens extremely quick. You can move that puck. That puck moves way faster than any player can. You're going to see Milic come right away, and they're going to go right back to it.
There he goes, net empty for the Central. They need 2, and they've only got 38 seconds. Then Sorry out front, good save there. Callie Klein warrants. Tim Washi backhands it all the way down. It's going to go wide. No icing call, 25 seconds left. Then Sorry drops it. Twisted to the middle, Hughes again, blocked away by Washi.
The boys are loving it on the bench by Washi, that big block.
We're down to single digits and a 3-1 Pacific lead. Here's Bradley Nadeau. The Pacific Division rises to the occasion and wins the 2026 AHL All-Star Challenge.
What a fun event. You know, we talked about it, how it was just going to pick up here, Alan, every single game. And we obviously witnessed that. We saw the Atlantic come out, try to put a little bit of a protest going on before the game. You know, the Central obviously won that tie break, but, you know, congratulations to the Pacific. And you talked about it, every single one of those guys, they care about this.
Take a look at our young blood highlights from Game 7, the championship game. There's your eventual game winner. Jagger Firkus gets the old GWG, and then a little empty net to seal it from Tanner Ledzinski.